All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to unpack one of the most powerful and maybe one of the most misunderstood symbols in the entire Bible, the serpent. But what if I told you the serpent isn't an animal at all? We're about to explore what it really represents. So let's just start with the biggest question right off the bat. Is the serpent in the Bible a literal slithering animal? Well, the sources we're looking at suggest that if you stop there, you're missing a much, much deeper symbolic meaning. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we're going to uncover the serpent's true identity. Then, we'll look at how one lie can grow and multiply. After that, we'll put that side by side with the incredible power of truth. And finally, we're going to pinpoint where the real battle is fought and how it's won. Okay, first up, let's figure out this serpent's true identity. To really get it, we need to let the Bible define its own terms. So what does the text actually say the serpent is? You know, it's interesting. The Bible uses a whole collection of titles for this thing. The ancient serpent, the devil, Satan, the great dragon, and, this one's a big clue, the deceiver of the whole world. You see, these aren't different characters. They all point to the function of a single entity. And that right there is the key. The Bible defines the serpent not by its species, but by its nature. Its entire essence is to be a liar, a deceiver, a tempter. It's the very embodiment of twisting the truth. You could almost say its fundamental nature, its DNA, is falsehood itself. And this is where it all clicks. We are not talking about a reptile here. We're talking about a concept. The serpent is a symbol for a crooked, bent way of thinking, a path of lies, and it stands in total opposition to the straight path of truth. Okay, but this idea doesn't just stop there. That original lie, you see, it isn't just a one-time event. No, it's the root. And from that root, an entire lineage of falsehood and destruction is born. And what we see is this really chilling progression. It starts with the serpent's root. That's the original lie. But from that root springs a viper, which gives birth to even more deceit. And the fruit of that viper, it becomes the flying, fiery serpent. Falsehoods that spread like wildfire and are just incredibly destructive. And look, don't just take my word for it. This isn't some modern theory. This is pulled directly from the text itself. Isaiah 14:29 says it plain as day. From the serpent's root will spring a viper. Its fruit will be a darting, fiery serpent. It's an ancient verse that just perfectly illustrates how falsehood can multiply and evolve from one single source. But here's the good news. The path of lies isn't the only option. There is a powerful, life-giving alternative, the path of truth. And this sets up the central conflict for all of us, the root of truth versus the root of lies. Just look at the contrast here. On one side, you have the serpent's root. What does it produce? Poison, deception, spiritual death. But on the other side, you have the root of life. And what does it produce? Living water, truth, and eternal life. These are two completely different sources, and they offer completely different outcomes for your life. The Bible paints this absolutely beautiful picture of what it means to be connected to the root of truth. It says a person like that is like a tree planted by water that sends out its roots by the stream. So even when the heat comes, the pressure's on, its leaves stay green. It's just a perfect metaphor for this deep, profound stability and resilience, no matter what's happening on the outside. All right, this is where it all comes together, the war within and the victory. So we get the two opposing forces, right? The serpent's lies and the root of truth. But where is this battle actually fought? I mean, when you read in Revelation about a great war in heaven with Michael and his angels fighting the dragon, what do you picture? Some kind of epic cosmic battle out in the stars? Well, maybe the battlefield is much, much closer to home. So where does this great battle really take place? Because the heaven described in that war, it's not some distant galaxy. It's the heaven within you. The real battlefield is your mind, your consciousness, your spirit. This whole epic conflict is happening on the inside. This is what our sources call the Michael War. And it's not about angels and physical swords. It's an internal spiritual battle. It's the process where truth, discernment, and real understanding actively push out falsehood, deception, and all those serpent's lies from your own mind. Victory is won the moment you choose truth over deception, inside yourself. So, what happens when you win this internal war? You get a kind of spiritual immunity. You know those famous verses about being able to handle serpents or drink poison without being harmed? Well, this is what they're symbolizing. It means you can encounter false teachings or deceptive ideas, but they just don't have the power to poison you anymore. You've developed true spiritual discernment. And this really brings us to the ultimate goal of all of this. It's not about gaining some kind of supernatural power over things. As the quote from Luke says, "Do not rejoice that the spirits submit to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven." The real victory is achieving that internal state of being, that heaven within, where you are just securely, unshakably aligned with truth. And so we end on a very personal question. After seeing the two paths, the two sources, and the two very different outcomes, the question is for you, right here, right now. To which root are you connected?